All right, yo, I'm back. It's I don't know what happened to the last joint, but we're gonna jump right back into it. So, NBA free agency talk. A lot of craziness going down. First off, Kyle Lowry is going to the Miami Heat. I thought I'd never see that dude outside of a Toronto Raptors jersey, so it's interesting to see that happen. But that gives Miami a legit point guard, a leader. He's a bulldog. I love watching Kyle Lowry play. Uh, and then you have him teamed up with Jimmy Butler. You teamed up with Duncan Robinson. You have him teamed up with Bam Adebayo. So the Miami Heat, they're gonna be in there. They were in there last year. Then they were in the bubble uh, finals the year before. So the Miami Heat looks like they are all in for the next 2 to 3 years. Even though Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry, they're older stars, but they know how to play the game of basketball. So I'm glad to see that happen, man. People get their money. Speaking of getting their money, Jimmy Butler got 4 years, I believe, $185 million. When I'm saying get your monies, get your monies. Uh, he's a Houston kid, man. Well, he's from Tomball, which is basically 10 minutes or so outside of Houston. So shout out to him, man. Get your bread. Again, he's an older superstar, but we know what Jimmy Butler is going to give you on the court every time he's out there. Uh, Speaking of Miami and Houston, Kelly Olynyk had a pretty good season once he got traded over to the Houston Rockets. A pretty good season. And, I know the Rockets were hoping to re sign him, but it's reported that he's getting 3 years, $37 million from the Pistons. So the Pistons got themselves a big man who can shoot, who can handle the ball a little bit, decent passer. Uh, so he's getting his money. Let's go over to the UT kid, former UT kid. He's out of Austin. Jared Allen. Jared Allen is reportedly getting 5 years, $100 million. Shout out to UT kids, man. Shout out to Texas kids in general. He's getting 100 million from the Cavs now. We know the Cavs are organization and work. So, and I think they just drafted a big, so it's interesting to see what's going on with that situation. Uh, let's jump over. I see Jermichael Green. Jermichael Green has signed a 2 year deal to go back to the Nuggets. Now, the Nuggets losing him last year was huge, in my opinion. I don't know where that came from. Excuse that background noise, but Jermichael Green going back to the Nuggets, he was a great piece for them guys who could do a little bit of everything. He can guard two positions. I'm sorry, he can guard three positions. I'll give him the two, three, and the four. He might be able to give you a spell and giving the MVP a break and the Joker giving him a break. So interesting pickup. I believe the Nuggets also got Will Barton back. Will Barton, I think he got 2 years for 30 mil, 2 years for 32 mil, something like that. Let me see if I can find it. Uh, I don't see it, don't see it, don't see it. It's all right. But uh, the real big signing is, did a video on this yesterday about Lonzo Ball. Heard he was going to the Bulls and signing a big contract. And for him to sign a big contract for a guy who hasn't averaged over 20 points yet, he's a very dynamic player, but hasn't found his groove in the NBA yet. He's getting 4 years, $85 million. So shout out to Zoe. Shout out to the Ball brothers. Shout out to LeVar. LeVar told y'all what was going to happen, and it's happening. So speaking of that, he's gotten LiAngelo. LiAngelo's signed with the Hornets summer league team. Hopefully, he can sustain that, can get that out with them guys. So all three brothers are in the NBA right now. I am struggling to talk what is going on. Um, Nerlens Noel is going back to the Knicks, 3 years, 32 million. I think I saw where they re-signed Alec Burke Uh, he's getting like 2 years, 30 million, something like that. So the Knicks seem to be going defensive minded, and I guess they're hoping that Julius Randle can stay and play at a high level like he did last year, and giving you that double double almost every night. And I guess they're hoping that the progression of the Quickly kid continues to grow. So uh, I'm looking at it right now. Alex Burke got 3 years, $30 million. He's a former Utah Jazz. And then speaking of former Utah Jazz or still a Utah Jazz, Mike Conley. Mike Conley is staying with the Jazz. So the Jazz seem like they're content on the guys that they have. They feel like they're right there. But the Jazz and the Nuggets are the same couple of organizations for me. They always seem to be really, really good in the regular season, but when it comes down to it, they just don't get the job done in the playoffs. So they're going to win a bunch of games. The Jazz are going to make a bunch of threes, but I don't see them making any noise in the playoffs. TJ McConnell, former guard from the Sixers, he has signed a 4-year, $35 million deal to return to Indiana. Shout out to him for getting his money up. Duncan Robinson of Miami Heat. Duncan Robinson, 3-point shooter, signed a 5-year, $90 million contract. So I think I'm saying that this is the largest deal ever for an undrafted player. That's crazy. Boys in the NBA getting their money right now. I ain't mad at them at all, man. Get your money, get your money, get your money. Let's see who else. Torrey Craig played with the only guy this year that we knew was guaranteed a championship once the final started. Played for the Bucks at the beginning of the year, then played for the Suns. He is signing a 2-year, $10 million deal to go to Indiana. That's cool for me. Uh, Chris Paul. Let's see what Chris Paul. Oh, Chris Paul has agreed to stay with the Suns at 4 year, $120 million. Say, man, that's almost impossible to do unless you're unless you're the likes of a LeBron James or Kevin Durant. But Chris Paul just got 4 years, $120 million for the Suns. Now he's an aging, I mean, really aging superstar. He's my age. I think he'll be 37 sometime this year. So I guess the Suns are saying that this window is right here. They feel like they can get back to the NBA Finals. So I'm not mad at Chris Paul for getting that money, but will Phoenix regret that? That's 4 years, $120 million to a guy that's almost 37 years old. That's crazy to me, man. It would have been interesting him to see him going over to the Lakers, but it is what it is. Saying another one, free agent Doug McDermott. I didn't know he was still in the NBA. Great college player at Creighton. He has a 3-year deal, $42 million deal for San Antonio. That doesn't move the needle. It is what it is with that deal. San Antonio is clearly on a rebuild for a couple of years. They not going to be the San Antonio Spurs of old. So uh, we just trying to figure that out, man. I don't know what they're going to do in that direction. I really like San Antonio as an organization, but they're not going to be pushing heavy for uh, second round in the playoffs, at least for a couple of years. And let me speak on this real quick. If those who follow Between the Game Sports, man, I'm on all platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Between the Game Sports. But I'm saying this to say that I have a live interview tomorrow with Sports Dissected. Now, you can look Sports Dissected up on YouTube. They have a big following on YouTube, but they're also on Google. But basically, this company gives you a behind the scenes look at all types of stuff like equipment at universities. They give you behind the scenes look at programs, uh, facilities, stuff like that. They even did one, I want to say Oregon. They did one with U of A showing how one of the trainers gets the game day balls ready for the quarterbacks and showing how they're made, stuff like that. But really just talking about free agency, man. I'm jump on this again. Big shout out to Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball got 4 years, $85 million. I'm happy for that dude. He gets a chance to play with Zach LaVine, gets a chance to play with Vucevic from the Orlando Magic. Um, that means Kobe White will be moved off the ball, right? And I think he's a better off the ball type of guard instead of a point guard. Now, the Bulls can figure it out and they can get Lonzo out in the open and let him make 10 plus assists a game. It's gonna be interesting for the Bulls. Can they really make a push for the playoffs? So I'm ready to see that happen. I'm ready to see that dynamic between Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine. And the Bulls played well with Zach LaVine last year when he was playing until he got hurt. So it's unfortunate that Lonzo didn't go to Charlotte, man. I would have loved to see that happening. You know, you got LiAngelo playing with their summer league team now, and then you got the rookie of the year, LaMelo. I would have loved to see that happen. That would have been must see TV. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that would have been so good. But you know, it is what it is. So those are some of the big names that's happening in the NBA free agency that just started. I wanted to jump in on that. Again, Kelly Olynyk going to the Pistons, Jared Allen staying with Cleveland, TJ McConnell staying with Indiana, Kyle Lowry to the Heat, Jimmy Butler got a big bag. Uh, Chris Paul got a big bag at the age of 36, almost 37. Duncan Robinson, 5 years, 90 mil. Jimmy Butler, 4 years, 184 mil. So, man, NBA free agency is going down, it's going crazy, but I got to get ready to get out of here. Just wanted to jump in, give y'all a little bit of information. So, it is what it is. But first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, give it a like. You can even go to Facebook and give it a like. Hit that bell button to get notifications, man, of content, man. I'm trying my best to build this channel, give y'all different forms of content, highlights, inside news, interviews with college coaches and players, and working on trying to get professional athletes to get on here. So it's going down on this channel, Between the Game Sports. Again, follow us on all social media platforms. I'm out of here. Peace.